Yep, something different again. Well, sort of. It's still related to the brakes. I've got to put the booster in here, and I've got to put the vacuum tank in here. There's a stud on the vacuum tank that goes through this hole. Of course, this is new, and so is this cross member. There was no hole in this, so I had to drill it. And because I've routed my wire across there, I can't bolt the bracket for the vacuum tank flat, so I've got to put a spacer there and a spacer, I think it's that hole there, I'm not sure. We'll find that out. That's the tank down there, and we'll get that in, and it's got this arm on it that attaches to this. Hang on, where is the hole? There's the hole there. Okay, so this goes in thusly, something like that. Anyway, roughly. I'm going to repair that cut that I'd made. It wasn't needed, so I'll just have to repair that. It's no big deal. I've got to, sorry, I keep messing around. I've got to cut out a little notch here because this bolt hits it, so I have to do that. I've got to cut a little slot here. That's for the third stud on the brake booster. The reason I have a piece of metal here is directly behind here is a brake line. I don't wish to cut through that brake line, but I just want to remove this. So I'll get my Dremel out and I'm going to cut this little piece out here, and that will suffice. I also marked it on here, not that I need to cut it out here. And I will show you that before I put it in. Okay, now the spacers, I've got a couple of, I've got a whole load of spacers. And I found two that were perfect, but they were rusty. So I cleaned them up with a sander, and now I'm zinc plating them. Here is one I did earlier. It's just the zinc coating, and this is the plate here. You buy the kit. Oh crap, I can't remember. Oh, hang on, can I? Is it this? Does this tell me who I bought it from? Excuse me a second. Caswell's, there you go. Caswell's at www, like it'd be anything else, .caswellplating.com. And it's a zinc plating kit. I don't think it was particularly cheap, but when you're restoring a car, you'll find a lot of uses for it. And I just grabbed one of my, I don't think this came with it. I think I just happened to have this spare, I don't know what you call it, transformer. Anyway, and I use that, and here it is cooking at the moment. Let me just show you. I'm not finished with it yet, although I could be. I'm just going to cook it a bit more. And I can't remember what you call this process. Electrolysis? Ooh, there's a big word for a Tuesday. Anyway, so yeah, this is the sacrificial diode, and it's leaping across, and you can see it bubbling away there. That tells me it's working, and I have, you know, plenty of spare. And you can see what it does. It eats it away from this and puts it onto whatever. So quite a neat little kit. I bought a big, well, that's not purple power in there, that's the zinc coating stuff. That's the container I used, because I bought a big, I want to say couple of gallons of it, and I'm not sure again, but I think it might have come in a powder, and then I mixed it up, and then obviously you need somewhere to put it. So you need an old purple power container or something like that. Oh, and this is the extra stud on the brake booster that interferes, because I'm using a different type of booster, but I will show you that in situ when we get to that stage. That'll be a little bit later in this video. Okay, I've cleaned this up now, got this as level as I can. My intention is to weld this. That's a little high there, so I'll get the weld done here, so then it's holding, and then I'll get a hammer and dolly and get those level. Once that side's done, then I'll be able to mess around with this side. And do note, I am no welding expert. I can usually make it look reasonable. And as this is going to be in the wing and won't be seen, I'm not too worried about it. And it will be covered in powder coat. So hopefully it'll cover up the multitude of my sins. Okay, as I mentioned, I am no welder. This side, I had the voltage settings way too high. Gonna have to grind all that crap out of the way. Then I started to get it right. Because I'm jumping across a gap and I don't have a copper, call them heat sink now. Anyway, I don't have a copper thing to put the other side to prevent the weld from jumping through. So I'm not getting the penetration I want, but I'm trying to close up this gap. So, as you can see, I've got the weld, I've got the join, but I've still got this bloody great gap here. So, I think what I'm going to do is go down the inside with the weld. I cannot see any other way to do it because I'm no expert. I mean, I weld there and I weld there and then I join them, and I weld there and I weld there and I join them. So I mean, if it was just for strength, great. But I want to grind this off and make it look decent. But of course, when I do that, I'm going to take the bridge away. So I'm going to continue to do this kind of stuff here all the way up till I get it done. Then I'm going to flip it and weld on the inside, and then and only then will I get out the flap wheel, or whatever you want to call it. In fact, let me show you what I use. And if you're a professional welder, you'll probably frown at me, but oh well, I can live with that. They give a much better finish than using a grinding disc. They give you a smoother finish, and in my mind, they are a lot more controllable. When you use one of these, to me, it takes off too much material. That I use when I really want to get aggressive. The cutting wheel, well, that's a different scenario. But this is what I prefer, and it works for me. Flap disc, there you go, it's called a flap disc. If you've never tried them, I would suggest it. There you go. There's my hot tip for the day. Okay, I've finished welding the other side. Now I have to weld this side, and unlike Dave of Classic Car Cave, I'm not a very good welder. It takes practice, and I guess Dave has had a lot more practice than me. I haven't had much practice at welding at all, but you know, I get there. What takes me, you know, I don't know, an hour to do, Dave would do in about a minute probably. And I struggle and he'd do it easily. However, each to their own. Welding not my forte, could be, but you know, I don't have that much to do. So now I want to run a weld all the way up there and all the way up there, and take it from there. Okay, first one, this side, total fuck up. Second one, not so bad. Hey, you learn by your mistakes. Now I got to clean it up, both sides, but it's stinky hot at the moment, so I'm going to let it cool down. And then I will grind it. Actually, I'm going to use the flat wheel to get it down as smooth as I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a little piece in here or not. Is it needed? Probably not. For aesthetics, maybe. I'll see. But prior, oh sorry, hiccups. Prior to that, I will be, oh dear, these hiccups, grinding it flat. Oh, and I had to clean a bit there so that I could get a good ground. Such fun. Okay, so this is the inside. Now I've just knocked it down. I'm not going to go crazy on here. It's inside. I am going to put some filler in here. I've got a little bit of more knocking down to do there. Now let's look at the other side. Hang on a second. And this is how this side has gone. That's looking pretty good, and that's where I use this, and I think these are great little wheels. You know, that gets it pretty darn good. I could come down a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm going to, and also not sure what I'm going to do about this. Should I key a little piece in there, weld it in? What do you think? Originally it did. It curved up from this point to this point. Whoops. Had to do that, didn't it? Just can't get the actors these days. So yeah, it should go from that point to that point in a straight line. What do you think? Should I fill it in? Because this is going to be very difficult to weld unless I trim it back a bit more, or unless I just go for it and watch it burn it away and then fill it full of weld and then flatten it. I'll give that some thought, and you'll find out when I get it done. Initially, I think I mentioned my plan was to powder coat this. That has changed purely because I want to put some filler here to make this look reasonably smooth, and if I do that I can't powder coat it because the filler will not stand the heat of powder coating. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to fill in that piece that's missing because it just annoys me. Does it do anything? No, but it just annoys me. Alright, let's get on with it.